Okay, we're going to work on Scratch this week, and this is going to be our last project of the year, and we will continue with Scratch next year. This week we're going to work on a music project. So I'm going to delete the cat, and go to a background, and I want a nice background for music. So you could pick any of these. I'll pick this one because I want a nice little classroom. Now we have to add our music in. So I go to choose a sprite, and I'm going to choose, and I'm going to pick music because I want the ones with the music category. And I'm going to add a drum. Okay, and I'm going to add a few different drums, and I'm going to put this one down here on the floor. I'm going to add another drum, go to music, and I'm going to use this drums over here. And if it's too big, what you could do is you can make it smaller. So I take this number 100 and maybe make it 80. Okay, so now you got it's a little smaller. And I'm going to add another one for music. Go to music, and conga drums. Okay, got my conga drums over here. Next thing I'm going to add is a saxophone. Search, music, saxophone. Okay. Put this over here. I'm going to add trumpet, music, trumpet. Okay, so I got my music, I got my trumpet. And last one, a microphone. Add in, and then add music, and then I go to microphone. Okay, so now we have our music instruments in our classroom. Now it's time to do our code. So I'm going to click on the drums because first I want to work on the drums. So we're going to work with an event, and an event is when something happens on the computer. So I'm going to say when, and you pick which key you would like. I'll pick the A key. When the A key is pressed, what I want to happen when the A key is pressed, I'm going to go to sound, and I'm going to say start low tom. Okay. Now, if you don't want to use that sound, you can check to see if there's more sounds over here. Or what you can do is you can go to sounds and you can search. Oh, you can search and you could use one of these other sounds. Okay. So it's up to you which sound you're going to use. I'm going to use the one that they have because I want to make some music today. So now when I press the A key, okay, so we have some sound going over there. Next one we're going to work on these drums. So I click on these drums, so we're working with this sprite. Events, when the space bar is pressed. So I want to use the space bar. You could choose something else if you want, but I'll use the space bar. And we're going to do repeat loop. Control, repeat, and you pick how many times you want the code that's in the repeat loop to repeat. I'll make it 3 times, that the whole thing will repeat 3 times. I'll go to sound, and I'm going to use... I'll try one of these, and you could pick the one that you want. I'm going to try this one. And like I said, if you don't like that sound, you can go to these sounds, and you can search, and you pick the one that you like. Okay, but I'll just use this one for demonstration purposes. And we want to have a little bit of a wait in between, because we're going to do a few sounds in here. We want a little wait. So I'm going to put a wait, and I don't want 1 second. I'm going to do 0.25 seconds. Now, sometimes children get confused and they put wait 25 seconds, and that's way too long. So 0.25 seconds, that's 1/4 of a second. So that's, if you had 4 of those, it would add to 1 second. So 0.25 is 1/4 of a second. So we want 0.25 seconds, which is a very short amount of time, less than a second. Okay, and then after that, we're going to play another sound. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll use this one, and I'll just pick... I guess I'll play maybe low. Let's try this. You know, like I said, you can use your own sounds, however you want to do it. And then I'll do control, and I'll wait. And again, 0.25 seconds. Okay, so now when I click the space bar, I got the A going. Okay, so now we got our drums going. Now we're going to work on our other drums. We've got a lot of drums today. Okay, now with these drums, we're going to use the costume as well. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go to events, and we'll go when, and we'll say when the left arrow is pressed. It's up to you how you want to do it, but I'll use when the left arrow. Control, repeat, and you pick how many times you want it to repeat. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I'll do repeat. I'll use 4 times here. And I'll go to sound, and again, like I said, you could choose your own sounds over here if you want your own sounds. Perfectly fine, but I'll use these ones. I'm going to start, and I'll put a high. All right, here we go. High conga when we start. Then we're going to do next costume. So costume looks like this. We have one costume, and we have the next costume. So when you switch costumes, it gives a little effect like the instrument is playing. Okay, so we want to put the code in there for that to happen. So we're going to go to looks and we'll do next costume. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the sound and then we're going to have the next costume going. And we're going to wait just a little bit. I want to put a little bit of a wait in there on the control. And I'll do wait. And again, we want it less than 1 second, so you do 0.25. You could do 0.5, you could do 1. You just don't want to do something too long, like 10 seconds, because then the people who are watching this, they get a little bored. You know, we want the code to run quickly. And we'll go to sound, and we want another sound. What sound should we want? It's up to you, whichever one you want to do. You could pick one of these. I'll pick the low. I put that in there. And then we want to do our next costume again. We want to do our next costume. Now, why are we doing the next costume? Because we want to give, we got to put it in the repeat. We want to give the effect like it's changing. We want to go like this, that it changes the costumes, changes the way it looks. Okay, so that's what we do that. And then we'll just add a wait block at the end. Okay, now when I click the left arrow, does everybody see how it gives that little effect? So it says when the left arrow is pressed, it repeats this. It has the high sound and then it switches costumes so it looks differently. Okay, so it looks neat when it's switching back and forth like that. It gives it a neat little look. Okay, so that's the left arrow. Now we'll work on the saxophone. All right, saxophone, and we're going to say when, and you pick which key you like. I'm going to do the up arrow. When the up arrow is pressed, and again we'll do a repeat loop. Repeat. I'll do repeat 4. You could change this if you want. It's up to you. Sound. What sound do we want? I want maybe the C note. Now, if you play an instrument, you could make a little melody here. If you play an instrument and you know the notes, then we're going to do a little bit of weight. The reason why we want a little bit of weight is we want the people to hear the first note before we go to the next note. Okay, so wait 0.25 seconds again, and then I like a little G sound here. So start sound, make it a G sax, and then we're going to do a little bit of a wait at the end. Okay, and like I said, you could put your own sounds in here. You could design this your own way, how you like it. Okay, now I press the up arrow. So now the saxophone's going between the C and the G when I press the up arrow. So it goes C, G, and it repeats that 4 times. So C, wait a little bit, then G, wait a little bit, then back to C. And it does 4 times because it's in a repeat loop 4 times. Now we're going to do the trumpet, and the trumpet's a lot of fun. Okay, now here's what we're going to do with the trumpet. Same thing, we start with an event, and when the down arrow is pressed. Now here's what's interesting. We're going to do the down arrow, and we're going to go to sound, and we're going to start, and we're going to play a chord here. Okay, so we'll do F, and then we're going to do A. Let's do A. F, start sound F, start sound A, and then we'll do the C trumpet. Okay, now notice there's no wait blocks here. So when we press the down arrow, the computer does it all simultaneously. It comes out like a chord. A chord is when you play multiple notes at the same time. Let's take a look. You hear the chord? The code is running all at one time. So you have F, A, C chord. Okay, so we have that. And then finally, we have our microphone. Okay, so let's go to our microphone. And I'm going to go to control. Events, we got to do it first. Control, and what key do you want to press? It's up to you, whatever key you want. I'll click B, but you pick the one that you like. We'll go to a repeat loop. Repeat loop 4 times. Okay, and we're going to start sound. And it's up to you which sound. You pick the one that you like. It's totally up to you. I'll do bass beatbox, but it's up to you what you like to do. And then I'm going to do a control, and I'm going to wait. And I'll do again a wait, 0.25 seconds. 0.25 seconds. Now, here's the part where it gets funny. You're going to go to sound, and you're going to say start sound. Okay, start sound. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry. You're going to play start sound here. Okay? And then what we're going to do is you see there's many different sounds you could pick, right? There's all these different sounds. We have all different ones. We're going to tell the computer, pick a random sound. So you go to operations, and you say pick random 1 to 10. So we're going to put that in there. So this is telling the computer now, hey, you make the decision for me. You pick which one of these you want. So the computer is going to pick which one of these that they want for us. Okay, so this is telling the computer, you do it for me. You're going to pick one of those sounds for me. Let the computer make the decision. And then you put it in here. And then we're going to do control. And we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Let's do 0.25 again. I like 0.25. Okay, so let's look at this code. This code is when the B is pressed, they're going to have it. You're going to do a beatbox. And then it's going to wait. And it's going to pick a random sound. It's going to pick any of these sounds, okay? The computer makes the decision for you, okay? And then you wait a little bit, then it goes back, and it runs that entire code. Everything inside the repeat loop gets run 4 times. So let's look at the B when the B is pressed. Okay, so once you have all the keys, you can put it together. So when I do the A key, we do this drum. When I do the space, it's going to be this one. When I do the left arrow, this one, it has a little effect going with the drums. The saxophone, up arrow, plays these C and the G, C and the G. The trumpet chord is the down, and then the microphone's going like this. So let's run our code, and we'll begin. Okay, so that's using Sound with Scratch this week. This is a nice way to end our school year, and we will do more activities with Scratch next year. We start the computer science with Scratch in December, but this was an introduction to the sound this week, and the children can continue to use Scratch over the summer if you would like, and also code.org as well.